Well, number one team falls, and then the number two team in the country falls as well.
Yeah.
West Virginia beats Kansas in Morgantown. That's their fourth straight home win over the Jayhawks. A pretty sweet deal for Bob Huggins, who pockets $25K when he beats the Jayhawks, right? I mean, there's no sweeter deal than that in terms of his contract.
It is. And for him then to turn around and donate those funds to cancer research is outstanding. I mean, namely the Norma Mae Huggins Cancer Fund there at West Virginia. It was established to honor his late mother, who passed away from colon cancer. It was established back in 2003, and it's been really one of the passions for Bob Huggins off the basketball court, and to be able to win and get those that money and be able to contribute to the fund in honor of his late mother, which is at this point, the latest update is it's $1.35 million in that fund. Wow. In honor of his late mom. So, so kind of a twofold benefit to beat Kansas and then to help with cancer research in his mother's name.
Yeah, so this year we've already seen West Virginia knock off number one Baylor, then number two Kansas. How dangerous is this team come March?
Well, I mean, you want to be playing your best basketball at the end of the season. And I think what we're seeing is a West Virginia team that's been consistent throughout the year. And you have a coach in Bob Huggins on the sideline who knows how to, much like a Tom Izzo, knows when to put the foot on the gas and when to let up on your team so they're their best in March. And I think that what we're seeing is a team gaining confidence, continuing to gain that team chemistry. And when you get big wins like they did last night, that certainly adds to the confidence of a team as well as your resume to try to get the best seeding you can. So really it's not a science, as we all know, but those that are good at it, like Bob Huggins, have figured out kind of an art form to make it to where he's able to formulate the season and to mold his team to where they're playing their best in March. So I think this is a team that could be very dangerous. All they have to do in March, whenever they're struggling, is look back and see their accomplishments throughout the regular season. And it's up to Bob Huggins to kind of use that as motivation to kind of get his team back if indeed they get to points where they're down during the postseason.
Yeah, I got to think in a tournament format, whether it's the conference tournament or in the NCAA tournament, that press, you just can't prepare, especially if you only have one day between games to try to figure out how Bob Huggins and that West Virginia team pulls off that press. Right. It would seem like to me, Ray, I don't know if this is the proper analogy, like playing a wishbone team or an option team like a Georgia Tech in the middle of the season where it's unlike anything else you see.
It is. I think sometimes, I know you mentioned football, and we've done games on Campus Insiders with teams that work with unique running old school type offenses like that, like in New Mexico, even like an Air Force in some respects. And you talk to coaches and they spend a little bit of time near the end of every practice working on at least a little bit of that, so it doesn't come as a complete surprise when that does come. So you would think that coaches, knowing that this is coming, would start to kind of plan for it, especially in conference. NCAA tournament is too far down the road, but yes, certainly in conference, you'd think teams would be prepared to see it.
And yet the top two teams in that conference, the top two teams in the country, couldn't do it. That's credit to Bob Huggins and the crew there.
And great execution, great athletes to execute it, and certainly, they've done it well.